Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first round of the 2025 TBT here at Freedom Hall in Louisville, Kentucky. Each of today's teams finds itself just 6 wins away from the TBT championship. It's now time for the matchup between the number 4 seed, Sideline Cancer, and the number 5 seed, Mad Cats. Mad Cats will be the away team on the scoreboard, and Sideline Cancer will be the home team. Mad Cats, led by General Manager Jimmy Hankerson, and Sideline Cancer is led by their GM, Billy Clapper. And now for the starting lineups presented by Air Force Reserve. We'll begin with the visitors, the Mad Cats. A 6-foot guard from Clayton State, number 4, Bernard Nugent. A 6'5" forward from the University of Mobile, number 5, Antonio Hester. A 6'2" guard from Florida Atlantic, number 11, Michael Forrest. A 6'4" forward from Queens University of Charlotte, number 31, Sean Willett. And a 6'8" forward from Florida, number 91, Keith Stone. Head coach of the Mad Cats, Rodney Chapman and Clyde Deriskall. Now for the starting lineup for the home team, Sideline Cancer. A 6'9" forward from Fresno State, number 2, Cullen Russo. A 6'8" forward from Georgetown College, number 3, Chris Coffey. A 6'7" forward from the University of San Diego, number 10, Marcellus Erlington. A 6'3" guard from Nebraska, number 12, Alonzo Burge Jr. And a 6'5" guard from Southern Miss, number 21, Matthew Crawley. Head coach of Sideline Cancer, Charles Parker. TBT games are governed by NCAA rules with the following exceptions. We play 4 9-minute quarters with players foul out on the 6th foul. We play through the goaltending rules except on free throws. The foul bonus occurs on the 5th foul of each quarter. And finally, TBT is using the Elam ending at the first dead ball with 4 minutes to go in the game clock shuts off and the target score is set by adding 8 points to the leading team score. The first team to reach that target score wins.
Each game gets harder and harder. You know, the stakes keep rising.
He's got space!
From back inside Freedom Hall, we welcome you to round 1 of TBT from Louisville, Kentucky. This is the 4-5 matchup, the second of 4 games today in round 1 from Louisville, and it features one of the TBT charter programs, Sideline Cancer, in the white jerseys, battling Mad Cats in its first ever TBT, the 5 seed in the blue. Mad Cats start with the ball. This is Keith Stone just off the low block, quickly smothered by Cullen Russo. And the first bucket of the game belongs to Bernard Nugent of Mad Cats.
There we go. Nugent, a guy that's played in the TBL, certainly has put up numbers there, and you can see early on he's just getting to that dribble drive and working the baseline.
Chris Vosters and Robbie Hummel, great to have you with us on the TBT YouTube channel. Winner of this game will move on to take on the Louisville alumni team, The Ville, tomorrow here inside Freedom Hall. Michael Forrest with the shot attempt, and then there's a foul underneath against Sideline Cancer.
Fouls on Mad Cats, number 5, Hester.
Correction, it's on Antonio Hester of Mad Cats. So Sideline Cancer ball.
And Michael Forrest, certainly a name that Hoops fans know well. Played on that FAU Final Four team, and if you followed his pro career, only 2 years out, but he's already worked his way into the top league in Italy and has played it really well. But you've got to get out to him on the three-point line. FAU's all-time leader in three-point field goals made.
Key piece of head coach Dusty May's historic FAU Final Four team in 2023. Here's Russo for 3 for Sideline Cancer, and he banks it in.
Cullen Russo shot 37% from 3 in the Mexican League this last year. Just a simple pick and pop, and with his size, that's something that he can do.
Sean Willett nearly turns it over. Austin Crowley got his hand in the passing lane, and Mad Cats with a sideline inbounds here. 4 9-minute quarters. These games move quickly. Here's Forrest again with the kick out to Antonio Hester, and the rebound pulled in by Marcellus Erlington of Sideline Cancer.
Alonzo Verge, if you saw him in college, Arizona State or Nebraska, he's got some real go to his game. He's got electricity, and there you're getting multiple dribble drives. How about Cullen Russo? He's shown off the stroke, now putting it on the floor. Very versatile big fella at 6'9".
All 5 of Sideline Cancer's points to start the game. Off the miss, Crowley cut off, and Nugent with the steal. Tried to work it back inside to Hester. Mad Cats stick with it. Mad Cats qualified for the field this year. They won the TBT play-in tournament down in Florida. Forrest 0 for 2 from deep now. Cullen the rebound. And as we mentioned, Sideline Cancer has been in the TBT field since 2014. Marcellus Earlington with the bucket there, and a good start for Sideline Cancer.
Just the size that Earlington brings to the table. They list him at 6'7", 230. He is a tank to deal with. You get him in the open floor, he can make things happen off the bounce.
So Earlington completes the three-point play. The foul was on Bernard Nugent, his first, and Mad Cat's second. 5 fouls puts your team in the bonus. Mad Cats playing from behind early. Nugent loses the handle. It's out of bounds underneath. It's Sideline Cancer ball.
Alonzo Verge just getting in a stance and locking up. I don't think Nugent could believe that ball was actually knocked off him, but Sideline Cancer getting down, defending, and that ball's going their way.
Sideline Cancer has had some deep runs in TBT, most notably in 2020 when they lost in the championship game to Golden Eagles. A takeaway for Mad Cats here. Sean Willett, a TBT veteran, finds the trailing Michael Forrest.
Willett's positioning there was perfect. And being in that help defense, and now you get out, you flow into it. How about Hester just a little face up and fade away, step back and drill it.
Austin Crowley, good defense by Keith Stone. Still in bounds for a moment, and it stays with Sideline Cancer.
It's amazing to see the consistency that Sideline Cancer has had over such a long period of time. They've knocked on the door so many times to win this thing, but they've put together some great teams.
And if they win today, they would play the Ville, which would be a rematch of the second round last year when Sideline Cancer almost upset the Louisville alumni team. Willett with the lay-in there, his first bucket.
That's something you can't do in TBT. You start giving those turnovers for touchdowns up where you're letting your opponent get off to the races just like this. It'll be a long afternoon for you.
Hester waits for Mad Cats to set up the half court. He's guarded by Earlington. And that pass slips past Michael Forrest and out of bounds. Sideline Cancer ball.
We've got some big guards in this game. I mean, you're looking at Antonio Hester or a guy like Marcellus Earlington. They're 6'5", 6'6", with some real weight behind them. Tough to guard.
Here's Verge. Chris Coffey back to Verge. Russo. He's got 7. Chance for 8 with the foul.
Setup from Alonzo Verge. A little pick and roll in the middle of the floor. You're rolling Cullen Russo. It's a great pass. Alonzo Verge just dropping it off, and Cullen Russo doing the rest.
In the game for Mad Cats, number 0, LaQuincy Vidal. Also on number 1.
Even though Sideline Cancer has been in the tournament every year, you know, there is a degree of roster turnover that happens with these TBT teams. So you're kind of getting used to new faces even with a familiar squad in Sideline Cancer, but Russo has been good to start, even though he misses that free throw.
Well, think about it, though, Chris. Even if it's the same team, it's not like these guys have been playing together all year long. So there's always a readjustment period where you're trying to get reacclimated and kind of figure out what your teammates are doing. And that's for a team that would bring back a lot. You know, the Vil's a great example. They've got a lot of guys back, but that doesn't mean there's not going to be some growing pains early on in this tournament.
Michael Forrest was fouled on his way to the rim there, and he goes to the free throw line. Forrest played for Pistoia Basket 2000 in Italy, the top league in Italy, as Robbie was mentioning. He was fouled by Cullen Russo, who stays in the game for Sideline Cancer. Among some other substitutions, Jericho Helms into the game for the first time. Forrest bottoms out a pair of free throws.
You mentioned Michael Forrest and kind of the impact he had on Dusty May's big run there. And honestly, they might not make the Final Four if he doesn't go on that 8-0 personal run against Tennessee in the Sweet 16.
Here's Kayvon Allen, big-time college player at Florida, off his first miss of the game. Coffey the rebound, and now Alonzo Verge Jr.
Verge can go. He really can. He'll play with a lot of electricity. He loves to go one-on-one, and he plays with a burst, but he can do that as well. He can turn it over.
Here's Allen, fouled hard by Jermaine Merrill.
Foul number 4, Merrill. That's his first,
second team foul on Sideline Cancer.
32, Joshua Cohen. And for the Mad Cats, number 43.
Both teams just rotating in their bench players now here as the first quarter rolls on, trying to find their preferred rotations in TBT 2025. Media timeout. We'll be back in 60 seconds. It's Sideline Cancer 10, Mad Cats 8, first quarter in Louisville. 3:57 to go, first quarter in the 4-5 matchup, round one of TBT from the Louisville Regional. Sideline Cancer 10, Mad Cats 8. Robbie Hummel, Chris Foster is with you. Initial impressions?
Well, I think both teams are pretty evenly matched up here. Certainly, Sideline Cancer hasn't done themselves any favors. Some of those turnovers to start the break for the Mad Cats, but we've got to strap in here because we've got two really competitive teams, as it should be in a matchup like this, 4-5 game.
Kayvon Allen with a made free throw to get us back going again. And the Mad Cats have tied this one up 10-10 in the first.
What a journey for Kayvon Allen this last year was. Played in Germany, played in Romania, played in Greece, played a little bit of everywhere, but averaged 13 a game in the second division of Germany.
Alonzo Verge to the hole.
Doing what he does best. He can get to the rim. He is tough to contain. He's slippery. Has that crossover, but has that burst as well.
LaQuincy Rideau on the ball for Mad Cats. Number 0, played college ball at South Florida.
Another big guard there, Chris.
Yeah.
There are big guards in this game. Physical.
In TBT history, as Keith Stone, fancy footwork.
Keith Stone, one of the rare players that's played at Miami, Florida, and the University of Florida, but the footwork right there on display was impressive stuff from Keith Stone.
You mentioned the guard size for Mad Cats. Nearly a takeaway underneath, and Josh Cohen got an awkward shot away. That has been a template for success for TBT teams in the past, big physical guards. It's a guard-heavy tournament.
But you think about just the versatility that you have with bigger guards. You can switch 3, 4, even 5 ways and feel okay about it. Honestly, there's not a ton of centers in TBT. There's some teams that have them, but a lot of forwards that will play small ball centers out here.
Jericho Helms whistled for a foul on Sideline Cancer. That puts Kendall Munson at the free throw line, and that's become a theme now in the first quarter. Mad Cats has gotten to the foul line a bunch.
Give them credit, and Munson did it not with the ball in his hands, but by running the floor, getting out ahead of the pack and really doing his work early.
And credit Mad Cats, they haven't missed. Now 6 for 6 from the stripe here in the first quarter. They have a 2-point lead. Jermaine Merrill on the ball. Now Coffey. Cohen underhands to Keith Braxton.
Morrow was a big scorer at Hampton back in college. Played his pro basketball last year in Azerbaijan, so we talked about it a lot. This is a worldwide global game, and it's on display here in this one.
That's Munson again. Misses from the field. Coffey guarded by Forrest. He has the size advantage, but the quick hands of Forrest help stunt the drive. Fresh faces continue to check in for both teams. Christian Terrell into the game for Mad Cats, number 21. And Marcellus Erlington, one of Sideline Cancer's starters, is back on the floor.
Also in for the Mad Cats, number 34, Keon Palmer.
Keon Palmer into the game as well for Mad Cats. At power forward, number 34. Braxton with 7 to shoot. Into Cohen with 4. Cohen is blocked by Palmer, who jumps off the bench and jumps in the air to block that shot away.
How about the help defense? First it was Rideau coming over, and then you've got Palmer cleaning it up. Mad Cats very connected on that defensive possession.
Helms fade away to beat the shot clock.
And those count right there. But Jericho Helms led the Kosovo League in scoring last year at over 20 a game. It's a tough shot, but something that he's done all year long.
Rideau off the mark. Big rebound nearly for Munson.
Sideline Cancer just dug that thing out. Looked like it was going to be a second chance opportunity. Instead, it's going the other way for Morrow.
Morrow showing that flash that made him a good player in Azerbaijan this season. Here's Rideau, and Arrow nearly takes him down, and that's a foul.
Foul on Nicole Merrill, that's his second, 14th foul. It'll be Mad Cats basketball.
Mad Cats ball, already the 4th team foul on Sideline Cancer of the quarter. Mad Cats had 3 team fouls. Allen from the free throw line. Allen's the rebound, and he is fouled. Rideau wanted to travel. It's not the call.
Rideau, that's his first, 14th foul. It'll be Sideline Cancer basketball.
Hey, I got 13. Q. I got 13. You got 4.
Merrill on Palmer, gets a shot away and goes to the foul line. Boy, a savvy move.
I think the refs kind of bailed him out there. You know, if I'm Palmer, I'm saying I'm in this spot. What more do you want me to do? He's coming right at me. I guess you have to give Morrow credit for totally forcing the issue.
Seven returners are back with sideline cancer from their 2024 team. You mentioned they got to the second round and lost to the Louisville alumni team, who is hosting this regional again. Could very well have a rematch of last year's second round tilt this year. You notice the sideline cancer jerseys, they have I can in a different shading on the front of their jersey. That is their motto, their inspiration, their message. We believe always, and the I can attitude. They ask their players to adopt a mentality beyond just an on-court style of play. Christian Terrell on the drive and kick through the hands of Braxton, and Kayvon Allen puts one in the bottom of the well.
One of those plays, Chris, where it's better to be lucky than good. That easily could have been a steal going the other way, and instead you're just getting a wide-open one for Kayvon Allen, who takes advantage.
It dribbles out of bounds. Last touch by Palmer, who's given the Mad Cats some good defense off the bench.
Those are two big bodies going at it right there. Earlington's not going to stop driving, and you got Palmer, who's ready to meet him.
Merrill is blocked. Jericho Helms in a lot of traffic, gets blocked as well. And now LaQuincy Rideau. He missed the layup. Missed it again after Terrell missed. 4 seconds to go in the quarter. 2-1.
Wow. What an end to the first quarter.
Rideau's looking at his hand like something's wrong with it.
It's one of those where you're kicking yourself going back to the bench.
That is how the first quarter ends. Mad Cats had a breakaway layup opportunity to tie the game. Instead, it's sideline cancer 19, Mad Cats 17, 1 quarter in. And the second quarter coming up. You're watching TBT on YouTube. Ready for the second quarter from Freedom Hall. Sideline Cancer and Mad Cats, the 4-5 matchup in this region. A close first quarter, 19-17, Sideline Cancer with the lead, shooting just under 54% for the game. Mad Cats 5 of 13 from the floor, that's 38.5%. Jericho Helms rolls one in to Marcellus Earlington. He's guarded by the guard, Kayvon Allen, who made things difficult, but Earlington with the answer.
How about the quickness there from Earlington? I mean, you're trying to get the matchup with a smaller player, which you have, but he faces up and just rips right by him, showing off that power, but also that speed.
Christian Terrell knocks down the two-pointer.
Good job by Terrell right there, playing off Kayvon Allen. That drive comes at you, you get away, a little shot fake, one dribble pull-up. That was pretty.
Terrell played college basketball for Florida Gulf Coast. A lot of players on this Mad Cats roster with Florida ties. They won a TBT play-in tournament held in Miami to get into the field this year. Earlington with 4 points to start the quarter.
Fun to watch score around the rim. It reminds you of like a Jayshawn Tate, who's had a lot of success in the NBA, but one of those thick-bodied guards that knows how to score the rock inside.
His first team foul of the quarter.
Former Ohio State Buckeye, Jayshawn Tate. The Ohio State alumni team, Carmen's crew, has won this tournament twice, including last year. Earlington whistled for the foul there, however, his first, and Terrell misses the three-point try. Braxton now for Cullen Russo, who got sideline cancer off to a good start in this game. Merrow is kind of taken over, though.
Take a bad shot, a quick one that leads to a long rebound, and your defense never gets set. It just felt like the Mad Cats were playing behind that entire possession, and Morrow the beneficiary.
4 quick ones for sideline cancer to start the second quarter, and Terrell is stripped. Braxton or Helms. And Helms is blocked by Palmer. Palmer staring him down on the floor, but play continues. Here's Braxton with the jumper. Got it.
Braxton Jr.
Helms' battle is still raging on down there.
Sure is. Helms has some tape around his left forearm, and it was coming undone. Did they call a foul there? I
think it was just, guys, let's stop. But I don't think there was a foul assessed.
In the game for the Mad Cats, number 91, Keith Stone.
Keith Stone checks into the game.
Think about the 1-2 combo of bigs that Mad Cats can go with Stone and Palmer.
Yeah.
I think they could not be any more opposite.
Yes. Both in terms of their body type and style of play. Yeah. Here's Stone for 3. One of those big men off the front of the tin. Jermaine Merrow out to Braxton. And, that was halfway down, just when you thought sideline cancer was heating up.
Bernard Nugent is not happy about that call. He's fighting for his life down there. Block out against the bigger sideline cancer players.
It's number 2 on Nugent. First team foul of the quarter for Mad Cats. Keith Braxton Jr. into Russo. Merrow for Helms inside, out to Russo. Sideline cancer working it around. Merrow for 3. And the rebound tugged down by Hester. He is fouled.
Sideline cancer will live with a look like that. Elam's good taking a tough one. He dished it off to Merrow, who got a great look. It doesn't go down, and we're seeing some extracurriculars out here. I think a technical was assessed.
Well, Earlington picked up a foul. His second.
Fouls on number 4, Nugent.
Bernard Nugent gets the technical foul. Was it double technicals, though?
A common foul was assessed on Marcellus Earlington. Nugent gets a tech.
I assume that there must have been offsetting double techs because nobody's shooting.
There are no replay reviews in these YouTube games.
Or are there?
I mean, there seems to be a petition to change that.
I think just a conference. Oh, maybe not. I think they're being informed that
it's not an option,
it's
fellas.
not an option out here in this game. Play the ball as it lies. That's what it's going to be.
So, I think Cullen Russo may have picked up a technical foul as well.
Offsetting text.
As you said, Robbie. All right, here we go. Here's Stone to work inside. And he gets the shot up on Russo, too strong. Russo picks up the rebound. Sideline Cancer leads by 8, their largest lead of the game. There's another foul on Mad Cats. Kayvon Allen.
This first half has been a little bit of carnage out here.
The second quarter specifically.
Yeah, it's like a bloodbath.
Braxton guarded by Stone. Russo double teamed on the baseline. Braxton can't shoot. Sideline Cancer out of it. Michael Forrest back in the game.
Mad Cats a little bit fortunate. They trapped the post down there, but then weren't ready to rotate.
Forrest in and out, still has not hit from the floor in this game. Burlington guarded by Forrest.
Not the whole side.
Now in the lane. Underneath to Braxton.
Great cut by Braxton on the baseline. Really good delivery, but it all starts with the spacing because Burlington has so much room to operate. He's got that mismatch right there. Then you play off the ball. That was well done.
Mad Cats have only 2 points in the quarter. Kayvon Allen is bumped and fouled by Cullen Russo.
Fouls on number 2, Russo. That's his second.
Number 2 on Russo.
And for the Mad Cats, number 31, Sean Willett. And in for Sideline Cancer.
Russo sits. Sean Willett back in the game for Mad Cats, number 31.
Timeout, Mad Cats.
And there's a timeout. Mad Cats trying to get their offense going here, down 10 with 4:58 to go until halftime. Just a 30-second timeout. And it's interesting because Mad Cats were, I guess, only shooting 38.5% after the first quarter, but their offense has really stagnated here in the second.
You have to get something going to the rim. It's just been a struggle to get anything easy. Sideline Cancer some credit for kind of locking in here. But it's been a slog on offense for the Mad Cats here in the second quarter.
Got good guard play, as we've discussed, but, Michael Forrest hasn't hit some shots.
Kayvon Allen has kind of been the only guy that's been able to.
Winner of this team plays the Ville tomorrow in round 2, and some members of the Ville coaching staff, including head coach Luke Hancock, are just sitting down to the right of us right now, getting a preliminary scouting report done on these two teams. The Ville's future opponent in this bunch. Kayvon Allen for 3. Mad Cats needed that.
Morrow's just got to be a little closer to him there. Kayvon Allen has been the offense for the Mad Cats.
Chris Coffey draws the foul, and that's on Antonio Hester.
Fouls number 5, Hester. That's his second. 13th foul.
Number 2 on Hester.
Chris Coffey's one of those guys that played Division II basketball, but has worked his way up into some very, very strong professional leagues in Europe. What a pass.
Verge finishes.
That's one of those things where Verge, even though he's a little bit on the smaller side, he knows how to finish. Kept that thing out there and kept it away from the defender.
Michael Forrest just can't get one to drop. Coffee is fouled after the rebound.
He's had good looks. He's had 2 or 3 of these things be halfway down and pop out.
It's another one on Hester, his 3rd foul.
Number 5, Antonio Hester, that's his 3rd, 4th team foul. Sideline Cancer basketball.
That puts Sideline Cancer 1 away from the bonus, which is 2 free throws automatically, no 1 and 1.
Antonio Hester and Earl Clark are fighting for who can foul out the fastest in their games today.
And you get 6 fouls, too, so it's almost hard to foul out of these games. Urge off the rim, Forrest the rebound. Ahead to Allen. Stone in and out, gathers his own miss. Allen, another 3. How about Rideau? That'll count.
Get enough chances. Eventually, one's going to go down. I love the pace that Kayvon Allen pushed that thing with. First one doesn't go down. Get the offensive rebound, and Rideau pays it off.
Mad Cats down 6. Coffee for 3. Yes.
Jumping off. Chris Coffey. Now, he was a 21% three-point shooter this last year in Greece, so not a great shooter, but makes him pay right there.
Allen dropped off at the feet of Willett.
A catch, but I think he traveled.
You're correct.
A heck of a job to gather that thing in, but just one too many steps.
Timeout, immediate timeout. 3:18 to go until halftime. Sideline Cancer 34 and the Mad Cats 25. Winner moves on to the second round of the basketball tournament. Working our way towards halftime in this TBT Round 1 showdown between Sideline Cancer and Mad Cats. Mad Cats found their offense for a little bit there after a slow start to the second quarter, but Sideline Cancer has once again built out a 9-point lead. What's impressed you about Sideline Cancer?
Well, I think just in terms of how they've gotten the ball inside. You know, they have really made a concerted effort to get to that paint, whether it's with Alonzo Verge in the ball screen or some of their bigger guards like Marcellus Earlington. They've been effective at getting it down there to the paint and making things happen. Here we go again.
Austin Crowley crosses over into the lane, a little out of control. And it's Mad Cat's ball.
I thought that ball was deflected. That's what Austin Crowley is saying, too. But, no dice. No review either.
No review. He might have a point, but that's the call. Here's Bernard Nugent on the ball for Mad Cats. Willett. Puts it in.
Well, that's a dribble drive right there. Willett, just simple crossover dribble, but he burned it on that baseline.
Willett was a Division II college player at Queens in Charlotte and has gone on to a very successful overseas career. No question about that play for Austin Crowley, his first bucket.
Not a great gamble from Rideau. If you're going to gamble, you've got to get that one. He whiffs on it, leads to an open three, but makes right back up with it on the other side.
6 points for LaQuincy Rideau. Alonzo Verge with the whips, and he travels. Changed his mind midair. Rideau slithers in the lane. No finish. Boy, the close range chances have befuddled Rideau.
But it was an awesome move. You're right. He's had some issues on the layups. You know, he snaked that pick and roll right back to the middle, kind of slow-played it, kept his defender at bay. LaQuincy Rideau, I'm sure he wishes he could have a couple of these layups back. He's missed some easy ones.
Foul was called on Mad Cats, and that put Sideline Cancer at the free throw line for 2 bonus shots. Rideau picks up his second personal. Make that his third. Chris Coffey, third-year player with Sideline Cancer. He was actually recruited by the Kentucky alumni team, La Familia, this year.
Number 44,
Blows a nice kiss to that fan that's been serenading him.
number 34, Palmer.
Got, plenty of room for hecklers and cajolers here inside cavernous Freedom Hall.
Yeah, the crowd is thinned out from the Ville game, so if you really want to get some statements into the players right now, they will hear them.
Just under 19,000 seats inside this arena.
Pro basketball will kind of, if you're not in the NBA and you're playing overseas, it will get you back used to playing in front of not very many people in certain countries. I was playing in Russia, and we were playing in a velodrome, 15,000, like a bike track arena.
Oh, my gosh.
15,000 seats, and I bet there was 100 people there.
Wow. Ahead to Crowley, and he lays it in ahead of Willett.
Really good pass there from Alonzo Verge, but those are the turnovers you just can't have. They lead to runouts. They lead to easy buckets.
Forrest going to the free throw line where he is 2 for 2.
Number 3,
That gets Michael Forrest going. He's had some wide open looks. He's 0 for 4 from the field, all 4 coming from 3. And the foul line unlocks that jumper here in half number 2.
The foul is on Chris Coffey, his first. What did you think of how Michael Forrest's college coach, Dusty May, took over the Michigan program?
Boy, he did a phenomenal job. And granted, this is in the modern era where you can flip programs really quickly. But just to kind of instill what he wanted to do, his culture of a team, the way he wants them to play, it was an impressive job, certainly in year 1. And they're gearing up for a big year 2.
Helms hits the deck, and Willett picks up the loose ball. Willett puts his shoulder into Crowley, and Stone missed the cleanup.
What an extra effort by Helms.
Verge with the layup on the feed from Braxton.
That's a basket save from Jericho Helms, and then he gets out, they run the floor, and what looks like a bucket surrendered ends up being a bucket gain for Sideline Cancer.
Pretty methodical quarter for Sideline Cancer, forcing the Mad Cats to take a timeout with 1:01 to go in the half. A 12-point lead for Sideline Cancer, their largest lead of the game, 43-31.
Mad Cats are going to need somebody to come alongside Kayvon Allen. Whether it's LaQuincy Rideau, he's got 6, but he's missed a couple easy ones. Michael Forrest has had a tough start to his game. Keith Stone just 1 for 4 from the field. He hasn't been able to get it going inside. Got to get somebody to help Kayvon Allen here on the offensive end.
Sean Willett's another guy that I have seen at many TBTs before. His first TBT was back in 2019 with a D2 TBT team that took down a Kentucky alumni team that did not have nearly the firepower that this year's La Familia team does. But that was sort of his introduction into TBT, and he has been an asset for a lot of other teams at this tournament since then. Final minute of the first half. Into Keith Stone. Kick out, Kayvon Allen from the lane line.
Oh, boy.
He throws that to Charlie Parker, the head coach of Sideline Cancer.
In fairness, Charlie Parker is wearing a dark-colored long sleeve, so Kayvon Allen might have been a little bit fooled there on the jump pass.
Urge, man, he has got handles.
Yes, he does. And swagger. He can get a little bit wild, too.
Forrest can't get that one to drop. Hellam's the rebound. Crowley leaked up to Verge. Boy,
Goodness.
Nugent and Coffey got their feet tied up, and Nugent gets the foul
I don't
called.
think Nugent has agreed with one call that's gone against him in this game.
Well, not only has he disagreed with the calls, he's been vehement about it.
He's got a tech under his belt.
That's his third personal, not including the tech. You know, you've got these big guys running up and down the floor. It's almost surprising that doesn't happen more often, but you just don't see two guys just
tangled up
like that.
You think about how athletic the guys are that play pro basketball.
Man.
They are.
Coffey's got 3 made free throws tonight, this afternoon, beg your pardon, and 6 points. Lose track of the days here inside Freedom Hall.
They all start to blend together.
They do. It's a busy day at this facility. There's also a massive AAU tournament going on here at the Expo Center next door.
And the theme park.
Yeah.
If you've never been here, there's a lot going on the premises here. But I will say, this is my first time to Freedom Hall, and it is awesome. You know, it's very nostalgic. It feels like an old arena, but I can only imagine in the early 2000s when Rick Pitino was flipping Louisville's program, this place must have been rocking and rolling.
Certainly during the Denny Crum years as well.
Yeah.
Here's Stone, tried to use the glass. Just over a second left in the half.
All right, this is going to be Mad Cat's ball. Watch for the strong side corner. You're dialing up your best set to get somebody a shot.
Hellam's great defense. Still time to get a shot away.
You can still catch and shoot. Oh, this might come to us.
It was a catch and shoot for you.
All right, now catch and shoot for Sideline Cancer.
And no time came off the clock. Just get out of here. Just touch the ball and get us to halftime. That's what Verge does, intentionally or not. Sideline Cancer dropped 100 points in their first round game at TBT last year. They're almost on pace for 100 here in 2025. 45 points in the first half. They lead by 14 over Mad Cats at the break. We'll be back for the second half in a moment. You're watching TBT on YouTube.
7 p.m.
We are ready to go to start the second half in the 4-5 matchup in the Lexington region from inside Freedom Hall. It's the 4-seed Sideline Cancer and the 5-seed Mad Cats. Sideline Cancer with an impressive second quarter to build a 14-point lead over this first-year TBT team, Mad Cats, albeit a team with some TBT veterans. No team is more veteran than Sideline Cancer in terms of its program status in this tournament. They've played in every single TBT. But now, Sideline Cancer looking to seal the deal and move on to the second round for yet another year in its storied TBT history. What do you need to see Mad Cats do to get back in this one?
They're going to have to start guarding. I mean, Sideline Cancer, 62% from the field in that first half. And that's a good start right there. See one go down, but they're going to have to get stops on this end.
Sean Willett on the alley-oop lay-in. And one similar theme has carried over now into the second half, and Bernard Nugent finds himself outside of the referee's good graces, his fourth foul. Robbie Hummel and Chris Foster, it's nice to have you with us on the TBT YouTube channel.
Nugent has been consistent in the way he's complained after every call.
He has been consistent. Great point. Alonzo Verge picks up the ball. Here's Chris Coffey open on the wing. And Stone able to win the ball eventually for Mad Cats.
You can see that the Mad Cats scouting report, even though Chris Coffey made one in the first half, is that they are going to sag off and make him prove that he can make three-point shots.
He's got one in the game. Michael Forrest, Mad Cats would love for him to find his offense in the second half. Keith Stone, kick out. LaQuincy Rideau for three. Willett, the offensive rebound and a fresh shot clock, but he's trapped on the end line and nearly turned it over. Stone on the wing. Ball comes down, touched by Coffey, and it stays with Mad Cats.
This possession, the Mad Cats just kind of imposing their physicality. Staying on the offensive glass. They've got some of those big guards we talked about in the first half, and you've got to do a better job if you're Sideline Cancer at checking out and keeping them off the offensive boards.
Hester keeps it in the half court. 10 on the shot clock now. Hester, this is the layup.
There you go again. This time it's one of the bigs, though. Great effort by Keith Stone. He bats that off the glass, keeps it alive, and goes and makes a play.
That was almost a never-ending possession for Mad Cats. A much quicker one there for Sideline Cancer. It's Cullen Russo.
Cullen Russo, even at 6'9", has a pretty nice skill set. We've seen him shoot it, handle it, put it on the floor in transition.
Stone, nice wiggle.
Feeling it now. All it took was that one offensive rebound putback, and Stone showing off the range from 15 feet.
6 points for Stone. As Robbie mentioned, he played college ball at Florida and Miami.
It's one of those where you're like, I didn't even know you were allowed to do that.
So do both fan bases despise you? Or
I don't know. Like if you played at Purdue in Indiana or Kentucky and Louisville, that would be very strange.
Verge for Coffey. It hit the rim, and Coffey missed the tap back.
The Alonzo Verge experience is always, that's right on cue right there. That pass was wide open. He throws it off the rim, but then he goes and uses that speed and quickness to make a play on it.
He's a live wire.
It's never boring.
No.
We'll say that from watching him in college and now as a pro.
Former Nebraska Cornhusker. Stone is going to the free throw line.
Stone, just like that, has made 3 straight shots. Didn't have his best in the first half, was just 1 for 5, but just like that, this guy's got it going.
He'll shoot one. For Sideline, number 4, Merrill. He replaces Erlington.
Didn't necessarily see that coming. He had 2 points in the first half. Marcellus Erlington has just been saddled with his 3rd foul. And Stone is now Mad Cat's leading scorer with 9. Jermaine Merrow had a good first half for Sideline Cancer. He gives it up, now has it back. Runs into the brick wall of Keith Stone. Austin Crowley. Loose ball, Stone picks it up. Forrest ahead. And back out to Rideau. Russo crashes the glass. Verge gets bodied by Keith Stone. Number 2 on Stone.
Sideline basketball.
It's actually Stone's 3rd, beg your pardon.
Mad Cat's just flying around, a little helter-skelter, but almost met him at the rim.
Sean Willett thought it was all ball.
Number 31, Willett. That's his
He picks up the foul. Already 4 team fouls now on Mad Cats in the quarter.
Number 3, Coffee. He'll shoot 2.
Puts Chris Coffey at the foul line. Coffey can hit his free throws 5 for 5 today. Shooting at the big TBT bracket. Just behind that hoop.
And again for Sideline, number 44.
Sean Willett still shaking his head after that block was called a foul.
Felt like he got all ball. Mad Cats were just flying around.
Forrest slips a pass down to Stone, and he topples Russo, and that's an offensive foul on Stone, who now has 4.
It's a big call because Keith Stone, not just a turnover, but an offensive foul. You get him in foul trouble. He's been the offense here in the 3rd quarter.
You would think earned himself a ticket to the bench, even though he does have 6 fouls to work with. He's going to stay in the game. Kendall Munson is another depth big man for Mad Cats. He's off the bench now and appears to be on his way to the scorer's table to check in.
They've got Keon Palmer as well.
Yeah. Who had a good first half.
Yep. Active.
In the game for the Mad Cats, number 43, Kendall Munson, replacing
Stone does sit.
The Mad Cats are really small now. If you look at Munson, 6'7", 6'8", but just not traditional size out there. Really a couple forwards and the rest guards.
Jericho Helms and a difficult finger roll for Crowley, but he makes it work.
That in and out just totally froze the defense and allowed him to get downhill.
And a good take by Hester.
Pass though. Initial dribble drive, just spraying it out. Tough one from Sean Willett.
Foul called. And it's on Michael Forrest.
On the Mad Cats, number 11, Michael Forrest. That's his first. Sideline Cancer's in the bonus.
Put Sideline Cancer into the bonus, so they have 2 free throws now with every additional team foul on Mad Cats, and there's still a good amount of time left in the quarter.
Come on, Bart. Ball on, come on, Zoe. Ball on now.
Sideline Cancer is based out of Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania. They play specifically for the Griffith Family Foundation for Pancreatic Cancer. This is one of the original teams to play for something bigger at TBT, more than just basketball. Three-pointer off the mark for Forrest. On the offensive rebound, Rideau bricks one. Munson saves it again. Third try. Forrest makes it count.
That's a great effort there by Munson. Even though they're undersized compared to Sideline Cancer, the activity level of some of these forwards, the Mad Cats, active on the offensive boards and paying it off from three.
We've actually seen that a couple of times now where some extended possessions for Mad Cats have finally resulted in points and buckets.
Give them a lot of credit here, Chris. They've hung around. Felt like at the half it could go either way, and they've trimmed this lead down to just 7 now.
It was 14 at halftime. Foul on Kendall Munson, however, his first.
We have maybe a
double
text again.
Technical on number 4, Merrill. And technical on number 43, Munson.
As a pro, when you get text, you get fined. In the TBT, this is the time to get them. Because
Yeah,
they're free.
No penalty. Yeah, get your money's worth.
Think about an NBA technical foul fine rate, $2,500. That will make you think twice about getting a tech. That's why it was better in Russia when it was only 100. So I could feel like I could let loose and get my technical foul fix.
Burge rattles that one in. Draymond Green would get, what, like 18 a year?
He's paid heavily into the NBA fine system.
Forrest misses from deep. Hellam's the rebound.
Munson's out here playing really physical. An athlete with a body on him, too. Look at the way he's moving his feet with Alonzo Verge. He is locking up.
Verge didn't get the last laugh. Rebound Mad Cats.
Good defense. Now a run out.
Or Hester.
Antonio Hester.
There was plenty of contact on the layup there, but what an effort from Kendall Munson to get in the stance and lock down the much smaller Alonzo Verge.
Joshua Cohen with it. Out to Verge. Inside of 10 on the shot clock. Elams.
Boy, that's got to be a foul.
And it is, eventually.
Hester got the worst of that, though.
That was on number 5, Hester. That's his 4th.
Elams, but he got jacked in the face.
Time is out on the floor.
He picks up his 4th foul in the process and is bent over at the waist right now, trying to just clear his senses. He's over on Sideline Cancer's side of the floor. Timeout on the floor, 2:54 to go in the third. It's Sideline Cancer 54, trying to keep Mad Cats at bay. The Mad Cats have 47. Following a foul on Antonio Hester, Sideline Cancer's Jericho Helms is at the free throw line, former NC State player. Sideline Cancer trying to hold on to the lead here, led by 14 at halftime. Mad Cats has taken the fight to Sideline Cancer here in the third quarter, but Sideline Cancer up to the challenge so far.
Well, Helms coming off a championship in Kosovo. Not only led the league in scoring, but the team came through with the ship.
And a steal for Helms right on cue. Brunson steps out to guard him.
He looks the part of a pro basketball player. Has the body, certainly the ability to score, has the size.
Well, basketball belongs to Sideline Cancer.
Possession arrow, Sideline Cancer after the tie-up.
There's nothing worse than having to wear a mask because you broke your nose. Just in looking at Josh Cohen's mask right there, that is a miserable way to play.
Just because you can't breathe?
You can't see, it's hard to breathe, it's just a pain in the butt.
You ever wear a mask?
Yes, I broke my nose. Jacob Pullen and I collided. We're on the same team in Moscow. And the team said they were going to make me a mask. Well, I never got molded. I'm like, hey, your mask is done. I'm like, it can't be done because we haven't taken any sizes. And it ended up being Paul Davis, who played at Michigan State. He had played on that team and broken his nose years before. They just had it laying around. So they tried to pass it off as a new one, but it was not.
Did it fit?
No, but it looked like Batman's mask. It was kind of stylish.
That's what you had to lean into. Yeah. Nowhere else to find solace there.
Those are the types of things, though, like overseas, that would never happen in the NBA. That would never happen in a high major Division I college basketball program. You've got to be able to kind of roll with the punches, and it's a lot easier said than done because you become accustomed to the way that things are. And it's just different over there.
Well, the good news for Josh Cohen as Christian Terrell hits the bucket for Mad Cats. He can take his mask off now because he's on the bench with 2 fouls.
I thought you were going to say that he broke his nose in America. They'll actually make him a mask.
Foul number 11.
I don't know. I mean, a broken nose is a broken nose no matter what country in which it takes place.
Don't do it in Moscow.
Okay.
It will be hard for you to find a mask.
Word to the wise, don't break your nose in Russia.
Yeah, or just break your nose, period.
Jermaine Merrill sinks a free throw. The foul was on Michael Forrest, by the way. He picks up his second. And the lead back to 9 for Sideline Cancer. Under 2 minutes to play in the third.
Yes.
Look out. Kendall Munson.
Coffee just totally fell asleep over there on that far side, weak side help defense. Got in to take away the roll man, and Michael Forrest finds him.
Wow, what finishing ability by Jermaine Merrill. He's going right back to the foul line.
He had the matchup with Christian Terrell, and he was going to go right at him with so much space, hard to contain.
At the line, number 4, Merrill. He'll shoot one.
Sideline Cancer did a great job of getting that ball up the floor, giving Morrow an opportunity to play.
Merrow drops it in the well, a dozen for Merrow, and he's got 5 in the quarter.
Cancer has kind of righted the ship here. Push that lead back out to 10.
Terrell pulls up, and Terrell's got back-to-back buckets for Mad Cats.
Easy shot either. Going to his right is the lefty. You are stepping in. It's easier footwork, but that defense is pretty good there.
Merrill lost the handle on the way up, and Mad Cats are up with it.
What a pass.
Munson finishes it.
Boy, that was like a quarterback hitting a receiver on a go route. That was a perfect pass. Munson, what a candidate to get out. That athlete out in space, out in the open floor.
A pass under pressure, too. Coffee with the lay-in.
Same type of mistake we just saw Coffee make on the other end. The help defense just not in on the roll man, and Chris Coffee getting one back.
Munson locked out of bounds, but a foul on Helms.
Helms felt like he was straight up. A bit late coming over.
That's his third.
Seen some pick and roll breakdowns here these last couple minutes.
Yeah.
These roll men are wide open.
And the line for the Met Cats, number 43, Munson.
3 fouls on Helms. Munson, one of a couple players who played at Jacksonville in college, along with Keon Palmer, who has, interestingly enough, not seen the floor in the second half.
He was active early.
He was. Didn't score, but
I guess they went to Munson, and he's given them a spark here in this third quarter.
That's a good point. And they went to Munson because Keith Stone had it going earlier in the quarter, but ran into foul trouble. Falls off for Munson. Final minute of the third. Sideline Cancer by 7. Braxton off the front of the rim, and Forrest looks to push. Forrest around Merrow, but couldn't get around Coffey, but there's Munson with the offensive putback.
You put so much pressure on the defense, the help has to come over, and after you contest the shot, there's just nobody home to block out Munson. His activity continues to shine, but Michael Forrest makes that play with that drive.
5 to go in the quarter. Merrow
Again.
Forrest with 1. There it goes. Behind the backboard. Mad Cats, an impressive third quarter. Down 14 at the start, and now only down 5 going into the fourth. Mad Cats trying to pull off an upset. This profiled as a competitive game, 4 versus 5, and it has proven to be that way. Fourth quarter coming up next. Sideline Cancer by 5. TBT, round 1 from Freedom Hall in Louisville.
Fans, as a reminder, TBT is using the Elam ending at the conclusion of the game. After first dead ball with 4 minutes.
Here comes the fourth quarter and the Elam ending looming now. When we get to under 4 minutes in the fourth quarter, we'll turn off the game clock and play to a target score equal to 8 points greater than the leading team score at the time. Sideline Cancer with the takeaway, and Helms misses the layup, but Chris Coffey never gave up on the play.
Really good hustle there by Coffey. The contest by Rideau, and it really was a solid contest without fouling, but Coffey stealing a basket just by playing harder.
A Baker's dozen for Coffey as Christian Terrell misses the 3. Sideline Cancer a chance to get off to a good start in the fourth quarter, and Jermaine Merrow is going to the foul line after the foul on Michael Forrest.
What an answer from Sideline Cancer, because the Mad Cats had taken a lot of the momentum into the start of the fourth quarter. That is flipped with 2 consecutive runouts that are going to lead to points.
I was thinking the same thing. Having said that, what did you see change for the Mad Cats in the third?
I loved the way that Munson just came in and affected the game in such a big way. Kendall Munson had to play the 5. He's a really good athlete. But kind of his activity level, the offensive glass, defensively, getting in a stance, locking up. Finally got some stops, which led to some runouts.
Back in for the Mad Cats, number 91, Stone. Replacing number 21.
Well, the Mad Cats will go a little bit bigger now. Keith Stone back into the game, along with Kendall Munson. Christian Terrell sits. Merrill now with 14 points to lead Sideline Cancer. Kayvon Allen jacks one up. That's a collision and a foul on LaQuincy Rideau, who pushed down the Sideline Cancer player.
Rideau is 4.
I love when players yell at the ref who didn't make it.
Yeah.
Which is occurring right now.
Change it.
Quincy Rideau telling the official who said, I didn't call it, well, then why don't you change it? I don't think he can do that either.
Yeah, that's not how it works. Keith Stone serving as an intermediary right now. Alonzo Verge hands off to Coffey, who hands off to Merrill. Marcellus Earlington had a good first quarter for Sideline Cancer.
He's lucky that Forrest didn't steal that. You dribble with your back turned to the defense for too long, and they're going to come get it. Being over the back.
Number 44, Jericho Helms. That's his 4.
Correct. Number 4 on Helms.
It'll be Mad Cats basketball.
There's been a lot of complaining in this game. Everybody is mad at the officials.
Everyone has complained about the calls, yes. Forrest really threw it away. Here's Allen for 3. Skims the rim. Out of bounds, Sideline Cancer ball.
I like this.
Forrest guards Verge, who bursts and draws the foul.
There's that burst again of Alonzo Verge. He's hard to contain, especially when you let him get a full head of steam going downhill.
4 on Forrest. Feels like everybody's got 4 fouls in this game.
Well, in the first half, there was a lot of fouling.
Number 21, Terrell back in for Mad Cats, replacing number.
Looks like whoever hits their free throws will be able to take this one home. But Sideline Cancer up by 10 again. Now 11. Michael Forrest just hasn't found his shot today.
It's been a strength of his throughout his career. I mean, 36% career three-point shooter at FAU. He's the all-time leading three-point shooter by makes with over 300. He's a good shooter.
Earlington misses the fadeaway baseline.
I'd like to see him maybe punish the defense. Terrell's down there guarding him. Unsettled.
Got the frame to do it. Here's Terrell for 3 now.
Find him. Don't match up. And
it's a 5-point swing.
Totally is. That Cat's just hanging around.
69-61. Into Earlington. Helms on the cut.
Throwing that thing over the top. Earlington goes and gets it. You get another cut. And that's good offense.
Terrell off the miss. Stone almost had a play at the rebound. Stays with Mad Cats underneath.
Number 5, Antonio Hester back in for the Mad Cats.
Kendall Munson sits. He had been on the court for a long time, Kendall Munson. Now Antonio Hester spells him.
Number 21, Matthew Crowley replacing number 12.
Austin Crowley checks in for Verge. This is Hester trying to back down Earlington, who's a big body.
They're not moving him. That's good defense there.
No, you're not moving him.
He's a big body himself, but Earlington's so strong.
Here's Jericho Helms off platform, and he draws the foul.
21, Terrell, that's his
Christian
second.
Terrell whistled for his second.
That's a bailout because there was nowhere to go there for Helms.
At the line for sideline number 44, Helms. He'll shoot 2.
2 free throws for Helms, who's got 6 points today. Has played in the G League for the Stockton Kings. Wearing similar colors here with Sideline Cancer. Stockton Kings won the G League this year.
Knocked off the Orlando G League, I believe, in the final. Assistant coach Drew Anthrop winning a title, Purdue's finest. That's my roommate from college.
That's awesome.
Way to go, Drew.
Wow. It's like, what have you done lately, Robbie?
I have not won a G League title, so I'm got to get on Drew's level.
It's a competitive dorm room.
He's a bad roommate. Eat all your food.
Wouldn't clean up after himself?
Right, yes.
I tell you what, the sweat spots can be persistent. Hard to mop up.
Team bonding activity out there. I mean, both teams having to knock it out. They're putting Helms in the freezer from the line.
And there has been, nothing over the top, of course, but a little bit of animosity between these two teams. So using that moment to come together. Tell you what, Helms, maybe he likes it in the freezer. No problem knocking down those free throws. Here's Hester wide open. Elam skies for the rebound, yeah.
Man's board right there.
Coffee ahead to Merrill. And Merrill draws the foul on Antonio Hester. That's number 5 on Hester.
Mad Cats were selling out with pressure. That's when you look up the floor. That's exactly what Chris Coffey did. If you're seeing bodies like that, somebody's got to be open ahead of you. Throw it up there and take advantage.
And the line for sideline number 4, Merrill. He'll shoot 2.
Merrill finding himself at the free throw line again. And he's been good at the free throw line.
Cats, number 43, Kendall.
8 for 8 from the stripe. And now 8 for 9. Forrest throws it back to Terrell. And Terrell puts it in.
Jump stop. It's a very fundamental play, but it just gives you so many options. You come to a jump stop, the defense flies by you, and then you can score it. Now a steal.
Forrest, the interception, and the layup.
Michael Forrest.
Once again, the Mad Cats have done enough to hang in there in this game. Not a good turnover, leads to a bucket.
Not to the Elam ending just yet. A 30-second timeout taken with the lead inside of 10 points.
Think about, Chris, just how important this minute 13 is. If you're the Mad Cats, you get a stop and you hit a 3, and all of a sudden this thing is 6. It feels a lot different than 9. Not that you can't come back from 9 because the game pressure of the Elam ending is such a real thing. Teams tighten up, they lose their offense, they go one-on-one. But This is quite the opportunity for the Mad Cats to make this very reasonable for them to come back.
It's interesting looking at the box score. Mad Cats just 6 of 29 from three-point range. That's less than 21%. Sideline Cancer hasn't really taken that many threes, only 11.
Think about the modern era. With the way the game's played today, 11 threes in a game that's this long.
Yeah.
That's not usual.
Sideline Cancer has gotten to the free throw line 27 times in this game. Coffee, that was a difficult reverse. Forrest, the entry to Munson.
Recognition.
No basket.
Munson had Morrow down there. Michael Forrest saw he had the mismatch, just threw it up.
Number 3 on Merrill.
Cats basketball. In the game for sideline, number 2, Kellen Russo, replacing number 4, Merrill.
That's because with the I guess you could call them Twin Towers, even though they're probably both 6'7", but you've got the two bigs out there.
Stone lost the handle, but Rideau's got it, and he threw it nearly away. Here's Terrell on a broken play. Yes.
Skelter, but the Mad Cats just keep finding ways to hang in here. Sideline Cancer's going to have to shoot this. They're not going to burn it down and take a shot at one. There's no good in that, so you're not going to be able to call timeout for the Elam here.
Russo is fouled hard. That's on Munson.
It is a hard foul, but it's a smart foul. Russo 56% from the line this last year in Mexico. That's who you want going to the free throw line.
Russo had 7 quick points in the first quarter today, now sitting on 9 for the game.
Number 2, Russo, he'll shoot 2.
And he is 0 for 1 at the free throw line today. Looked good there. He's into double figures.
That doesn't look like a stroke.
No.
It's in the 50s
No.
by any means.
No.
His percentage would say otherwise.
That's right. You gotta look at the numbers. He is one of 3 Sideline Cancer players in double figures today. We are officially in Elam ending territory. And that was a tough shot by LaQuincy Rideau. He's got 9.
Cats are right there, and cutting this down to 5 for the Elam. What a victory for them.
You could argue they have the momentum despite trailing in this game going into the Elam ending. Timeout on the floor. We will play to a target score of 83, 8 points greater than Sideline Cancer's leading total currently of 75. Elam ending just around the corner.
Fans, we've now crossed over into the Elam ending. The target score is 83. The first team to 83 wins the game.
a very entertaining game in the 4-5 matchup in the Louisville Regional. Sideline Cancer, the 4 seed, trying to earn a date with the Ville, the Louisville alumni team, in the second round. But Mad Cats has just not gone away. Sideline Cancer has led by as many as 14 in this game, but the lead has been cut to 5 going into the Elam ending. We have crossed over into that TBT iconic portion of every game. In this game, first to 83 wins. The target score has been set, and Rideau takes it away.
I was just about to say that this is a big possession for Sideline Cancer to get some momentum back on their side, but what a play by Rideau, who has had some big moments in this fourth quarter,
including hitting a big three-pointer just before we crossed over into the Elam ending. He's got it now. First to 83 wins. The game clock has been turned off. And Terrell tries to take Merrow to work, and Merrow pokes it away.
I saw a live flash before.
There were two big men crashing.
Stone and Russo. I guess you don't want to foul, but although that's just one, you definitely don't want to foul because it's one shot and they get the ball back.
But as you said, you want Russo at the foul line.
You want there if you're the Mad Cats.
Russo 1 for 4 at the stripe. Russo would have taken me out. Stone would have fallen on top of you had they not had the athleticism and body control to stop themselves.
Slow it down.
Verge looking inside. It's 5 out now. Now Russo in the lane. Verge drops it off, and Russo, no! It changed its mind. Tip to Merrow from the elbow. Bottoms.
That hurts. The Cats look like they stop, but you can't secure the defensive rebound. And Merrow for just running in there and finding a way to secure that ball and drilling it.
It feels like a huge bucket for Sideline Cancer.
Totally was.
He needs 6 to win now. He had a foul called on Sideline Cancer. It's on Crowley. Rideau has gotten red hot.
Crowley has to know if you're guarding the inbounder, he's one of the most dangerous men on the floor to then go make a play on it. But that foul hurts, though.
That hurts. And it's on Rideau, his 5th. He gets one more.
Now Verge just goes to the line to shoot one, and Sideline Cancer can steal a point and then run a set play.
Sideline Cancer was 24 of 27 from the free throw line going into the Elam ending, but they have lost that touch.
That's twice now in the Elam where they haven't been able to cash in on free points.
Broken up by Stone. Stone on Russo. Bucket and a foul. Mad Cats are getting a little crazy.
That was worst case scenario for Sideline Cancer. Bad turnover, then compounded with a foul in transition. Pete Stone with the strength to take it up through the contact and still finish.
Number 3 on Cullen Russo. And Stone drops it in. Stone's got a dozen. He's had a good game.
Just like that. This is a 1-point game.
Wow.
Every possession matters so much.
Into Russo. Out to Crowley. 3 ball. Off the rim. Hester ahead to Rideau. Forrest for 3. Munson couldn't win the rebound from Coffey. Sideline Cancer ball. Verge puts one up. Around and out. Tip to Munson. Mad Cats ball.
Numbers again. You got Coffey behind the play.
Munson throws it away.
Playing 5-on-4. You've got a power play there. Coffey slipped on some sweat on the other end and was not getting back. Think about with the Forrest open shot, he gets a great look. You don't cash that in, then you have a turnover that's unforced, and that could be one that haunts the Mad Cats when this game is over.
77-76, Sideline Cancer. Target score 83. Sideline needs 6 to win. Mad Cats need 7. A heave-ho to Verge. He almost took a 3. Merrow does. Rebound to Forrest. Cut off by Verge. Look out. Verdosa.
I thought he was letting that go.
I thought so too. He's had the hot hand in the second half. Antonio Hester nearly threw it away. Munson had his jersey grabbed. And wow, it is slippery down there.
The floor is.
Wow.
What a catch, though, from Munson. I mean, he catches that at his shoestrings. Has the strength to bring that thing up. This has been a disastrous couple minutes for Sideline Cancer.
Amazing.
The end of the Elam, yeah, the end of the Elam, and then just some of the things that have happened here. Been able to take advantage. Kendall Munson is not a good shooter. Not a good three-point shooter, not a good free throw shooter. So Sideline Cancer certainly has to block out.
Munson nails there. Munson into double figures. 4 in double figures for Mad Cats.
Look how small the floor has gone.
Both teams.
Yes, the biggest guy on the floor is 6'8" here.
And this is the first time, I think since the first quarter, Robbie, that Mad Cats has led.
Free throws by a guy who's had some struggles from the line in his career.
Mad Cats needs 5 to win. They need a stop right now on Sideline Cancer. Verge misses the pull-up, but Coffey stuffs it home.
Block out. Chris Coffey just flies in there. What a play.
Gives Sideline the lead. They are 4 away from the target score to win. Forrest pulls up. In and out, but Hester with a heck of a rebound.
Grown man board flying in there.
Stone for 3.
I don't think I love that shot there. Stone can get that whenever he wants.
Verge. Swish. Sideline Cancer is 1 away.
Probably want Alonzo Verge to be a driver, but he just steps back right there and makes the biggest shot of the game.
Truly the biggest shot of the game, and it forces Mad Cats to call a timeout. Mad Cats led 78-77, and Sideline Cancer, with their back to the wall, has rattled off 5 in a row. This has been a really good game, even as Sideline Cancer has played with the lead for the majority of the time. Mad Cats has never let this thing get away from them, but
they hung around.
They hung around
and made their move here towards the Elam. What an answer by Sideline Cancer. Everything going wrong into the game, and Alonzo Verge just steps up and makes a huge, huge 3.
Sideline Cancer has advanced out of the first round in 9 of 11 TBTs. The last time Sideline Cancer did not make it out of the first round was 2018. This has been one of their best tests since then. They were not tested like this last year in the first round. They dropped a 100-piece over Venice ball. Whoever comes out of this one will have certainly earned it. Sideline Cancer needs 1. Mad Cat's still in the conversation, but they need 5. Forrest off the curl.
Rebound.
Carroll puts it back up. No. Sideline Cancer with a chance to win and move on. Erlington blocked by Stone. Helms fouled with a chance to win it at the line.
What a sequence right there. Sideline Cancer able to get a stop and then play in transition.
That's his 5th.
Extra effort. The shot gets blocked, and Jericho Helms grabs that offensive rebound and now has an opportunity to win this thing at the line.
Jericho Helms today has 8 points. And he is 4 for 4 at the free throw line. So you like those numbers if you're Sideline Cancer.
At the line will be number 44, Helms.
For the win. No. He gets another try.
And for sideline number 21, Crawley, replacing Merrill.
A mulligan for Helms, and he missed them both. Mad Cats ball.
Cats basketball.
Just give him another life here. Mad Cats have hung around. Could have closed the door, and we'll see. That pressure builds.
Michael Forrest.
Weight room.
Rideau, I was just going to say bully ball. How about Rideau? He's got 8 points in the fourth quarter and Elam ending. Sideline Cancer can still win it with just 1 point. Coffee! No!
Wow, Coffee was right there at the rim. What a pass from Verge. Now the Mad Cats with a 3 can win the game.
Would you go for a 3 here? Would you draw one up?
I like going for the 3. I just think, Michael Forrest hasn't had a great day today. You got to feel like he's 1 for 11.
1 for
3.
11.
But he's had some good looks. I'm not against him. Christian Terrell can certainly shoot the basketball. We've seen Rideau. I think you got to take the best shot available. You're not just forcing a bad one up. Sure. But I'm for them going for the win here. They've played from behind the whole time.
Mad Cats want a timeout, and now Forrest.
You saw one go down.
So, what do you think? Is that a good sign or a bad sign?
It'll drive you crazy right there.
How'd it drive you crazy? Now Forrest, well, to his credit, has kept shooting. It's, was it J.R. Smith you were telling me?
The worst thing you can do is stop.
Yeah. And he did not stop. Michael Forrest 1 for 11, but is he the guy that is at the center of the whiteboard here? And head coach Rodney Chapman. You mentioned that even though this is a first-year TBT team, they have a lot of TBT experience on the roster. However, this would be a huge win for Mad Cats to take down one of just 2 teams that have played in every TBT tournament. In every TBT, I should say, not to be redundant, since 2014. Here we go. Mad Cats will win it with a 3. Forrest.
Great ISO.
Over Verge. He's going to the foul line. He can win it there. Almost went in.
But I think they said only 2 shots.
Only 2 shots. Thank you.
What a time to not have review.
Forrest can't believe it.
At the line for the Mad Cats,
Alonzo Verge picked up the foul.
Forrest will shoot 2.
Boy, Forrest, that was in and out. That easily
man.
could have gone down.
He's made his free throws tonight, even though he's made just 2 shots from the floor. He's 4 for 5 from the stripe. He also has 6 rebounds and 5 assists.
Found other ways to impact the game outside of his shooting.
And he's up to 10 for the game, and we are tied at 82.
Both teams are
Next
1
point,
away from the
next
win.
bucket wins.
Can't foul here. Hester's got to be careful.
Yeah.
You foul, you send him to the line for 1.
Verge puts Sideline Cancer over the Verge.
For the win.
And for the 10th time in 12 years, Sideline Cancer is moving on to the second round of TBT. It's almost like, what were they waiting for?
Yeah, it looks so easy. When Alonzo Verge wants to get downhill, he will get there. The degree of difficulty on that shot was not an easy one. He's fading to his left. He's coming back with his right. When Sideline Cancer needed it most, Alonzo Verge stepped up.
Between Sideline Cancer and Mad
Verge finishes with 14.
Sideline Cancer's now 5 wins away.
4 players for Sideline Cancer finish in double figures.
We're off against
Jermaine Barrow with a game-high 17 for Sideline Cancer.
7 p.m.
And that sets the stage for a second-round showdown between Sideline Cancer and the Ville, the Louisville alumni team, in what happens to be a rematch of the second round last year here at Freedom Hall. Having seen both the Ville and Sideline Cancer today, Robbie, what do you think of that matchup?
Well, certainly the Ville with their overall talent and their depth as well, but Sideline Cancer throws a lot at you. These big guards are going to be interesting. Size in the backcourt. Sideline Cancer, a proven commodity in this TBT, and certainly we're in for a good one tomorrow night.
It will be a rematch in the second round from last year from the same venue, Freedom Hall. Sideline Cancer and the Ville. Sideline Cancer last advanced out of the second round in 2023. They will try and get back to the quarterfinal with what would be a huge upset over the host team in this region. Sideline Cancer moving on, and we are halfway through round 1 in Louisville. 2 more games to go in our night session from Freedom Hall. For Robbie Hummel, I'm Chris Fosters. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the TBT action across the map, everybody. We will talk to you next time.